Jamie, thank you so much for joining me today. I am Hosanna Hansen, and this is my wonderful guest, Jamie Lupin, who is the Director of Marketing and Communication at 36 Degrees North in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Jamie, thank you so much for being here. I love it. Just so that our viewers know, Jamie and I, have known each other for a very long time, so it's so special to have you on. But she works at 36 Degree North, which is an innovation hub in Tulsa. A lot of entrepreneurs or those who have small businesses come, they collaborate. There's a lot of grant. There's a lot of creativity that goes on, as well as co-working space. So many amazing things that are done there. Jamie, can you tell me a little bit about how you got started?
Yeah, of course. So like Josie said, thank you for having me. Like she said, I work at 36 Degrees North. I've been here for almost 5 years now in this role where I'm the Director of Marketing. And 36 Degrees North is Tulsa's hub for innovation. We started in 2016, a long time ago, as a nonprofit really focused on co-working and bringing some entrepreneurial resources together. And here in Tulsa, there are a lot of resources for entrepreneurs and a lot of infrastructure around starting small businesses, launching startups. But back whenever we began, they were all really siloed. So if you knew about funding, you didn't know about education or all the different pieces that you need to pull a business together and create a really strong, impactful business. And 36 Degrees North was created to be just that, the front door for entrepreneurship, front door for innovation for people who are looking to get started in their entrepreneurial journey. I came on board here originally in 2017 at the front desk after I graduated college and was looking for a place to get plugged in downtown. I had a friend that worked here and she really loved it. And she said, why don't you come work the front desk at 36? I did that for a few years while I was doing an internship at a PR firm, which is what my degree is in. So I was doing that internship just down the road. So my whole life kind of centered around this area in downtown Tulsa. And I worked at the front desk for a couple of years and absolutely loved it. I mean, as soon as I left here to go work at the PR firm full time for a few years, I just had in the back of my head, like, I've got to get back there somehow, some way, sometime. I want to get back to 36 Degrees North because the people here are really special. And the mission that we're all focusing on is really important to me as someone who's born and raised in Tulsa. I really care about the development of our city. I care about the infrastructure and about the opportunity created here. And as a nonprofit, that's everything that we're focused on. So in 2020, when I was working at the PR firm, shout out 6PR, I learned so much there. An amazing woman-led, woman-run, woman-owned PR firm where I learned a ton. But I had that same friend call me up and say, hey, we're looking for someone to do communications for our team. Would you be interested? And it was the right time. And I just felt so much peace about coming back here and was really excited to join the community again and just focus on what we could build for the future. So I started back here doing essentially this job in 2020. I was a communications coordinator. And then since then have just learned a ton, grown a ton. Our business has changed a lot. We've gained a few new locations. Now we're at 3 locations instead of 1.
Wow.
And actually at the end of this year, we're consolidating all 3 of our locations, which are all in downtown Tulsa, about 70,000 square feet total right now. We're combining all of those into one enormous 115,000 square foot innovation hub that we've been renovating for a few years. So really excited to see what the future holds for 36. And also we just passed $1 billion in economic impact, which is huge for us.
Wow,
I know.
it's amazing.
Thanks. Yeah, it's been a goal for a really long time. So that is made up of all of the sales, funding, jobs created by all of our members here at 36 Degrees North, which we have over 3,000 members representing over 500 different companies. So it just goes to show how much impact those companies are making here in Tulsa for our collective impact to be $1 billion.
Oh my goodness, that is absolutely amazing. Now, as you work at 36 Degree North, I think that is, well, one, the impact, but then you also get to see across many different organizations. One of the things that I'm passionate about is just leadership and culture and what that looks like. I know within your organization and those underneath you, you have a little bit different. It's a little bit different. You have more of a part-time team. So what does that look like? How does leadership and continuing to cultivate this innovative space, how do you do that with,
Yeah.
not the normal constructs of a
Yeah.
company or organization?
Great question. So we have for the size of organization that we are and the amount of people that we serve, we have a very small agile team. So we're about, I think, 11 full-time people right now, and then 2 part-timers that work on our staff. But specifically what you're talking about is the marketing team, I think. So I am the director of marketing, and throughout the years, I've had support in the marketing team, whether it be a full-time person or contractors supporting our marketing work here. And right now I'm in a season of no direct reports that are actually full-time on my team. Everyone that I manage is a contractor or a part-timer here on our staff that can contribute to the marketing team. And I did that whenever I had a really amazing employee named Liz, who was like my right-hand girl. And like true to fashion, we hire a lot of people here that have entrepreneurial dreams and they care about innovation and growing their own businesses. And she left my team just so that she could go do her own business. And she's like thriving in that now. But when she left, it opened up an opportunity for me to think about the marketing team, marketing efforts, and how we structure that to be super efficient with our dollars and super strategic with the initiatives that we wanted to accomplish over the next couple of years. So it's been about 2 years, maybe a year and a half that I've been in kind of this model. But right now I have 4 or 5 different contractors that work in specialized area of marketing. So, we've got photographer, we've got socials, we've got people doing SEO, we've got a developer that does like all of the visuals for our website. And it's been a really incredible opportunity to not only like expand what we're able to do in marketing with not just having one person specialize in one thing, but instead a team of highly specialized individuals that are working kind of part-time. But it's been a great opportunity to hire people within our community for those roles. So a lot of the 3,000 members I was talking about are remote workers, they're freelancers, they run their own SEO companies. And typically those are the people that I look for whenever I'm looking to hire a contractor, because I know those people in our community get the vision. I almost don't even have to do like the onboard briefing of, let me describe this like weird model of what we provide, because it's not super well known. A lot of people understand co-working, but not a lot of people understand what an innovation hub is or what an incubator is at a deep level. So a lot of these people have been around our spaces for a while, utilizing our resources, and then we've been able to bring them on as contractors or part-timers and already have that mission. They've already got that mission downloaded into their minds and probably have been affected by, what we provide here. So that's been a really amazing opportunity to just get local talent plugged in, not even on a full-time basis, but just tapping in for what they're specially trained to do.
Right. And I love what you brought up, because I think that's a really good point, is that even we think about culture, we think about when we hire someone, we want them to have the values or at least understand and be able to fit in. But I love here's this very entrepreneurial, very innovative space in being able to pull from your own community. To your point, they already have that culture embedded. It isn't like this education where oftentimes when you're hiring, you're trying to vet that out and see, is this going to be a good fit or not?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That is awesome. That's really cool. Now, within 36 Degree North, I know you guys have transitioned, and I just love your mission. Entrepreneurs or new leaders or new business leaders, I love that space. And so for them to be able to come, I know that you've also had a lot of transition in that, which is normal in innovation, right? Anyone who's in innovation, whether it's tech or in this space, there's always being agile, being able to move quickly is important. How has it been, maybe some difficulties in, as a leader, how do you navigate that, and how has that been? And then what have been some positive things as well as you are trying to stay ahead of the curve?
Yeah, of course. There are a couple of different ways that this has shown up for us, even from what we offer to people being affected by just the rapid pace of growth. But then also there's the internal side that you're probably also referencing, which is like the team building and the camaraderie and the trust that you build in a team as things change and shift and leadership changes and shifts. And I'll speak first to just the influx nature of growing from one location to 3 locations over a pretty short time period. It was between 2017 and 2021 that we started popping up different locations. And I think the biggest thing that we saw actually it's quite sweet, like when you think about this being the problem, but the problem was that as our community was growing, we needed more space. So we always had this long-term vision of we want everyone under the same roof. We know that so much inspiration happens by collision and just those unexpected meetings in the kitchen or running into someone, that's working next to you and learning about what they're doing. But at the time when we were growing that fast, we didn't have the infrastructure. We weren't ready to move into that big space, of course. And so we're popping up smaller spaces across the same downtown area. And while we're able to serve more people, it also creates a little bit of a silo. And as a community-based, community-focused organization and a nonprofit, it's a little bit different. Your focus and your priority for us, while it is economic growth and development, it's also like being a safe place for our community. It's being consistent. Mm-hmm. And when we're popping up these other locations, our members are starting to feel a little bit divided. They're thinking, where are my friends? Like the last location that we opened up is a state certified technology incubator. And to maintain our that certification to be a state certified incubator, there are a lot of regulations around who we can actually let into that space. And so when we popped up that space, we thought, this is great. We're moving towards the future. Like Tulsa needs this technology incubator. And we were right, because when we opened it in 2021, in that first year, we were already at 80% capacity, which industry standard for that is 30 to 40%. And so we knew when we opened that space and it filled up very quickly that there was a need for it in Tulsa. But then all of a sudden you've got the people at the other 2 locations feeling a little bit neglected by the new up and coming thing. Their friends have moved over there, and it's like a little bit of a house divided. And so there's that social aspect of like having to bring everyone back together and rally around the same cause and, like give the community something to rally about while they feel like they're being pulled in different directions. And we struggled with that for a good year at least. And I think the best thing that we could possibly do was to train our staff how to respond, right? Like you're responding with, I'm so upset about it too. This is the worst. Like, we can't wait to be all in one space together. Like, you are also dragging down the community vibe. But by giving our staff answers and explanations as to why this happens, why can't I go up to the incubator and see my friend while it's in the City Hall building? You have to go through security because of City Hall. That's not even on us. And to be in there permanently, you have to be a tech-enabled company, and that is state law. So just giving our staff actual answers and a look towards the future of, our ultimate goal is to bring everyone back together, help them be prepared to answer kind of some of that pushback that we were getting from our community.
Right. And I'm going to stop you there, because I think that's a really good point. Even though, other people might not be in a nonprofit space, other people experience remote teams or teams at different locations, or, like that is very common. Yeah. And I love what you were talking about with regards to communication, preparing them with the talking points, but also it sounds like you knew exactly what you were going towards. So you had a vision that you were able to give them,
Yep.
a clear vision, and then, hey, these are our pain points, but these are our talking points, and here you go.
Yeah.
And I love that, because I oftentimes have experienced myself or have seen that lack of communication. And so people are left to come up, if someone isn't communicating something, they're going to create their own story, and then they're
Exactly.
going to communicate that. And then I think that is where we see teams or organizations start to spiral, is if we don't have that clear communication. So I love that you guys experienced it, but then solved it. And I'm assuming that that probably also helped keep the culture component of it similar, even though you had different locations.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It took a while, but we got there. And now that everyone knows the vision and we have actual tangible evidence, like our new location is three streets over, and we're doing tours and we're taking our members through the space and saying, this is what we were talking about. Like, thank you for sticking with us through these growing pains, but this is what our future looks like. And we're really excited for you to come with us. It's been really sweet.
That is really good. Now, I'm assuming that in your communication, you might have had moments of where you communicated one thing, but then you had to pivot, or maybe it changed. And I think a lot of those who might be listening have those experiences too. I always encourage my leaders or my organizations, always communicate. And even if there is a change in what you said, it's okay.
100%.
Communicate it.
Yes.
So can you kind of talk maybe just a little bit about a transition just with regards to that piece? Like, how did you handle, hey, we might have communicated one thing, but things change?
Yeah. Gosh, I think the biggest piece of advice I could give, and this is coming from a 28-year-old that's like obviously still learning, but like in my personal experience, there is no better way to lead than with empathy and with authenticity. And people respect that, because at the end of the day, you're going to be wrong at least once in your life, if not millions of times. And especially for me, on a place and on a platform where I'm communicating with 3,000 people digitally, email blasts, socials, and even larger audience, I've made so many mistakes that I can't even pretend to be this like perfect leader that always has it in check. Like, I still make grammar errors, and I should not be doing that. But the thing is, we're all learning, right? And growing and changing. Yeah. And like, that's, check, that's one thing I'm never doing again, obviously. But anytime that things need to be corrected, leading with, I know this was wrong, I know I was wrong, or plans have changed, but here's the truth, here's what's happening. It always comes across it goes across so much easier whenever you're leading through a lens of, I'm human, you're human. And then I've also found it to be so much more encouraging and uplifting of like the leaders that are coming up in our team, right? Because if I'm pretending all of the time that I've never made a mistake, it creates an unreal standard for them to achieve to. And while we look to achieve excellence in everything that we do, like, there are always times that you're going to fail and you're going to flop, and people are going to see it, and it's going to be embarrassing. But my boss has done a really great job of just fortifying me with confidence to own those things and move forward. And then you use that as teaching experience for myself, but then also for the people on our team that it's only a matter of time before they make the same mistake. And like, I'm still standing. So why can't you still stand after making, errors or saying something wrong? Or, I've been put on the spot so many times being in public relations and media, news anchor, or, news reporters coming up to you with a microphone. I'm like, holy moly. It takes a lot of refinement to get to a spot where you can speak and communicate clearly something on the fly without being fearful you're going to absolutely blurt out something dumb. It just takes time, right? Like, that is a skill that it's like flexing that muscle. And if you let that muscle atrophy and you don't try and refine it and work towards growth and work towards being a better communicator, then it just won't grow. But the only way to get there is through failure, right?
Right. Absolutely. I love it. And it sounds like you've had some really good examples of what that looks like, authentic leadership. Because I think in the leadership world, and we've experienced catchphrases, we have leaders, fail fast, especially in technology and innovation,
Yeah,
all of these things. But when it comes to the actual, if you fail, the fear that some people might feel, or new leaders that are stepping into positions and feeling like, oh my gosh, should I even be here? But I love your story. It's so true. No one knows really what you're doing, and you never get to the place where you are 100% confident 100% of the time. And if you feel like that might be the true thing, that it probably, it probably isn't. There's probably something else going on if that's the perception that might be coming across. But so encouraging for all of these leaders or anyone in this space of authenticity and clear communication always wins. Always wins.
I
Always
totally
wins.
agree.
Hiding or not telling the truth. Now, there's sometimes we can't share all the details, but even being honest in that of going, when I can, or if I can, I'll share. But, this is what I can tell you now. Like, it also builds trust with your team, knowing, okay, I know Jamie, when and if she can, will tell me the rest of the story, but I know she's going to tell me what I need when I need it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, Jamie, if people wanted to learn more about you, learn more about 36 Degrees North, what does that look like? Or if they would like to connect with you, how can they do that?
Yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn if you like. Also, our Instagram. We're pretty active on our Instagram. We have a great socials team that keeps it updated and posts lots of fun reels. We went viral for the first time last month.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's really fun. Of course, it translates to nothing, but at least you can say I went viral once.
Yeah,
You can find us on our socials at 36 Degrees In on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, all the things, same handle. And then please feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn if you like, or shoot me an email. My email is Jamie, JAMIE at 36in.co. No M, just .co.
I love that. Now, if someone is local to the Tulsa area,
Yeah.
and wanted to be a part, what does that look like?
Yeah. So here at 36, we have a couple different membership levels. But outside of that, if you've never even been here and you just want to come get the vibe check, hang out for a day, we welcome people to come and just enjoy a free day on us and see what it's like. But we also host hundreds of free events every single year that are open to the public. So you can get on our website and look at our events calendar. Almost all of them are free and open to the public. A lot of professional development courses, tech focused meetups, a lot of small business resources. If you're like not sure where to start, we have a really great funnel for onboarding people into starting their very first business. We use the Co-Starters program, which is a nationally known startup curriculum. So lots of resources that you can get plugged into without having to pay a dime. And then if you're interested in becoming a member here, or you need a place to sit every day and work, or you really value that community connection, we have co-working memberships that start at a pretty low cost, $149 a month, which is below market rate in our part of the country. So we just try and provide our resources at a rate that really says, we're a nonprofit, we're here to support you, we're not here to gouge you and like take all your money and then bail. But please come by and see us, check out what we've got going on our calendar, and at minimum just stop by the front desk and see how we can connect you with resources, people, events, whatever you need.
Awesome. Well, Jamie, right before we close up, do you have if you could go back to your younger self, what piece of advice when it comes to leadership, leading a team, what would you say to your younger self?
There's so many things I would say to my younger self, and they span a million different areas. But I think the biggest thing I would tell myself is that I'm capable. I'm capable of so much more than I thought I ever would be. And I kind of went through high school and college, and this is not a bad trajectory. This is the trajectory I thought that I wanted. I thought I would get married and just start having kids and go that route. I never really saw myself as someone who wanted a career, right? Like I knew I would have jobs, but I never thought I wanted a career, like someplace I could really develop and grow. And then flash forward to the story I told you about starting here at 36 and getting into PR. All of a sudden, I had this switch where I thought, this is actually really fun, very fulfilling. I find a lot of like joy in this. And
Yes.
like throughout my year, I did get married, I did have a kid, and like all of those things are able to coexist at the same time. I haven't had to choose between them. Right. Like it's a amalgamation of things that just changes, from day to day where your priorities have to go and how you manage those things. And it's not easy by any means, but it is so worth it. And I just wish that I wish that I knew when I was younger and when I was going through college that I would build a career that I love and that I have learned so much in, and I attribute a lot of this to starting at that PR firm that was fully owned and run by women. Those people, almost all of them were mothers, and they were business owners, and they were running this just incredible company that impacted so many people and worked really hard. But at the end of the day, they're also going home to families and they're taking care of families and raising children. And that was the first time I'd ever seen close up women doing both. So I'm really grateful for that time there. And I love those girls so much. And I attribute a lot of my growth and success to what they were able to show me. But that is probably the biggest thing I would tell myself is you're capable of more than you think.
Right. Oh, I love that. That is such a great message. I think we know ourselves so much. We know all of our weaknesses, and just reminding you got this and you can do it. Jamie, thank you so much. I would love to continue talking to you for so much longer. We're going to have you back, but I really appreciate your time and everything that you're doing. Yes, absolutely. And for those who want to know more, I went ahead and put the information, the website for 36 Degrees North. Be sure to connect with Jamie and have a great day.
Thank you.